You know, a lot of the topics that I discuss on this channel, I'm not an expert in them. It's just things that I've found, stumbled across, read about, and I find interesting, and I present them to you. Hopefully you find them interesting as well. Well, today's topic is a little bit different. I would consider myself an expert tradesman. I've been doing this since full-time since 2014. Before that, I moonlighted at it for many years. I'm talking about the skilled craftsmen, the guys that fix things and build things, fabricate things. You have to be a little bit of everything, a little bit engineer, a little bit designer, a lot bit hands-on, making things, or perhaps repairing things that have existed and have now malfunctioned. So you've got to wear a lot of hats. Now, one of the things I discovered in this is that for most of recent history, these trades have been severely underpaid. And I thought a long time about this, trying to discover why is that? It's a two-way street. Your textbook, let's just say construction worker, the narrative, the prejudice is not unfounded. As the guy has a drinking problem, he has a money management problem, or he's a convict, or he can't do anything else, and he's going to show up smelling like cigarettes, and he might have booze on his breath, and he might show up, he might not, he might take some money and you never see him again. There's a whole scenario, and those are not unfounded. I have found out personally trying to hire people that just getting people to show up every day, I've given up on it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to fight that. I've got enough problems without dealing with that. The other side of this coin is the skilled tradesmen, the craftsmen that take pride in their work and that do an excellent job. These are the men that built this country. I don't care how you want to look at it any other way. There are other factors. You know, it takes a money man to put some money behind a project and to get it going, or to maybe get investors and get on board and get the ball rolling. But when the rubber meets the road, someone still has to do the work. The trouble with that, what happens when there's nobody left to do the work? For many years now, the school system has done away with the building trades programs and the shop programs and the drafting programs. Any kind of VOTEC inkling, everybody is encouraged to go to college. You go to college so you don't have to work hard. There's a certain fairness to that narrative. Working in the trades will break you down physically over time. Personally, I've got arthritis in my hands, I've got it in my wrists, I've got joint problems, I've got arthritis in my hips and in my knees, ankles, they're a little sketchy. So why is this job so underpaid? I spent some time thinking this over, trying to figure it out. And initially I came up with, well, it's underpaid for the reason I discussed earlier. These kind of sketchy guys that may or may not show up, you know, you're not going to get paid. The ex-convicts, not that there's, you know, that's a whole other subject, but there are people that, you know, paid their debt to society, as the, you know, quote goes. They're out now. They've started a new life. Nothing wrong with that. But of course, you're not going to start at the top of the pavement. You know, you're not going to demand a top salary as an ex-convict. I get it. So I thought maybe that was the reason why these skilled tradesmen are not being paid adequately. But the more I unpack this, I've come to this, at least a temporary conclusion until I get other information that shows me otherwise. If you go back to the 1910s, 20s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even into the 70s, most men knew how to do manual labor jobs. A home addition, although a big project, was not overwhelming to the average male in the United States. Well, by supply and demand then, if everybody can do this job, or, you know, the vast majority, well, then it shouldn't really be a high priority thing, and maybe that doesn't command top dollar on the job site. The trouble with that is, not everybody can do this work anymore. The old guys like me and older, they're aging out. It's taken its toll. The trades have beaten us down. The young guys don't want to do it. You do get dirty. You are out in the elements. You do get rained on and covered in mud. The young guys don't want to do it. But you should know how. The money that you can save yourself simply knowing how to turn a wrench on a car, how to properly diagnose something, at least to a certain degree, how to fix your sink, how to replace your garbage disposal, how to hang sheetrock. I mean, you can save an enormous amount of money. But more to the point of this video, the old guys are aging out. The young guys don't want to do it. Who's going to maintain things? Who's going to build the homes? Who's going to drive the semi-trucks? You already have a shortage now. I mean, the time to get proactive on this was about 30 years ago, honestly. Very short order, we're going to start seeing, I hate to use the word crisis. That word is slung around quite a bit. In very short order, you're going to see some problems. You're already seeing them. The mechanic has the vehicle for weeks now instead of 2 days. No help. The home has been delayed. We can't get materials. We don't have a big enough crew to do it, especially industrial, commercial settings. There is a serious lack of manpower, and that, in part, is why you're seeing those southern borders wide open. Trouble with that is, those guys aren't skilled. I'm not trying to be racist or anything else. I'm just telling you the facts. I saw it happen in the early 2000s. A lot of immigrants, all of a sudden they are bricklayers and they are sheetrock installers and insulators, except they didn't know what they were doing. Old guys like myself and other guys that I know in the trades made a lot of money going back and fixing their mistakes. What's going to happen in this country when there's nobody left to maintain things? Fix the roads, plant the fields. There's another reason those borders are wide open. Somebody's got to harvest the crops. Somebody's got to run the tractors. Who's going to do it? The studies in humanities and the social sciences, the history majors, you're going to do the work? Are you? So make no mistake, the payday is coming. It'll hit in earnest about the time I am officially too old to do it. That's just how, my luck works out. That's just the way it is. But don't be fooled. The time to make payment is coming. And part of the reason for that is because there has been no gradual adjustment. Computer guys started getting paid more and more and more. Office people started getting paid more and more as the economy switched from an agrarian economy and a production type economy to a consumer driven economy. You're just buying things. Well, buying things, somebody's got to order it and, click the mouse and do things. I've done office work. I know how it is. It's a whole different ballgame. 18 months or so I did that and was absolutely miserable. I may do that again one day when I have no other choice. If there's a choice in the matter, I'll keep on doing what I'm doing now. There's a pride in it. There's a satisfaction in doing something, in solving a problem, figuring something out, or just creating something that didn't exist. There's a great self-satisfaction in that you don't get sitting behind a desk, clicking that mouse, moving the things, okay, spreadsheets, and you come in the next day and it's the exact same thing all over again. There is no completion. You're just part of the chain, moving the things. Every job I do, even this morning's toilet replacement, at the end of it, everything's cleaned up, it's working as it should, and I have the satisfaction now of, well, I did a good job. It's just a toilet, it's not that big of a deal, until it is a big deal. If you don't have a working toilet now, you've got a little bit of a problem on your hands, don't you? So, my original question, what happens when there's no one left that wants to drive the trucks? No one wants to build the houses. No one wants to fix the things. If you're a young man watching this, I highly recommend you just dodge right around that college business and go make some money. Learn some trades. Even if 2-3 years down the road you decide to change paths and this is not for me, it's wrecking my health, and I get that, no problem. But you know how to do it now. You got that tucked into your back pocket. And you'd be amazed over time how those things add up, where you're now a valuable commodity within yourself almost. I think this is a vitally important issue and topic. Nobody seems to be really talking about it. Can't keep the trains on the tracks. Haven't been maintaining them for decades. Now there's a lot of corporate greed and all that. I'm skimming over a lot of that stuff. I know that. Be that as it may, things still have to be maintained. Things wear out and break and malfunction, and somebody's got to fix them. And it's coming with a price tag because you didn't adjust all those years. A lot of people look down on people that did that. Oh, that's all you do? Oh, that's all? You're just a plumber? That's it? You're just a painter? And the dirty little secret of that is, if you're running the company or calling the shots, you can make a really good living doing it. So as I say, your payday's coming. I would highly recommend that younger people learn a trade or several trades. Learn how to weld. I wouldn't recommend that full time. It'll cost you your eyesight and your lungs. But learn how to do it. Maybe learn something about electricity. It's not that difficult. Learn how to be a skilled painter. Learn how to turn a wrench on a vehicle. There's guys that have flat tires now that just sit on the side of the road and wait for the tow truck. I don't know anything about that. I mean, are you kidding me? Clear up into the 1960s, I believe, there was instructions that came with a new Ford on how to adjust your own valves. You think you're going to see that now? The payday is coming. It's already begun. And the more in demand you are and the more skilled you are, your name will spread itself. You don't need to advertise. Your name will get out there and people will know, hey, this guy is the guy to call when you want it done correctly and you want it done well. Just simple maintenance is going to become an issue. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.